Creeper, and today I'm back with a brand new Doctor Who discussion video. This is a bit of a different one. We're doing a bit of a different format today. Usually I would just have no face cam, but I thought I'd try something a little bit new today to see if that is to your guys' liking. I don't know why I'm phrasing it like that, but yes, you get the point. We're going to try something a bit different today. Today we're talking about the 14th Doctor. There's been plenty of rumours about Jodie Whittaker stepping down after Series 13. We don't know how concrete they are, but I thought we'd take the opportunity to talk about my personal picks as well as your personal picks for the 14th Doctor. I've given a top 3 and a special mention, and I've also asked you guys on Twitter who would be your number 1 pick for the 14th Doctor. So we're going to go through them as well, and I'm going to basically say whether that opinion is terrible or not. Because that's how logic works. Fun. Okay, so if you've been watching me long enough, you've seen my live streams, you've seen Twitter, you'll know there is always one person who I go to as my next big pick for the Doctor, and that is Thandie Newton. Thandie Newton is a brilliant actress that I first saw in the TV show Westworld playing Maeve. She wasn't my favourite character, and still really isn't particularly my favourite character, but she drives a hell of a good performance towards the end of Season 1, and especially in Season 2. She's a character that has a lot of power and control, without spoiling anything, and she really gives off that vibe of being the Doctor. Now, I obviously can't show clips from the show, but if I could recommend a few videos, I'm going to just put them on screen here, go and find them on YouTube. They're very much worth watching if you want to know what she's like in terms of this performance. She's English, she's a person of colour, and she's 48, so a bit of a more mature female Doctor than Jodie. And obviously, I love what Jodie's done with the character, but if you're going to do another female Doctor, I think you've got to sort of space it out, the difference between Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. We've had Jodie, which is she's been a great Doctor in my opinion, but she's been very light-hearted, very easy-going. I think it's time, if we're going to have another female Doctor, that we have a one that's darker and a bit more Peter Capaldi-esque, if you know what I mean. For my second top 14th Doctor pick, I'm going to talk about an actor who recently appeared as the titular character in The Personal History of David Copperfield, and that is Dev Patel. He is a great actor. He does a lot in that film, obviously, with a lot of different things, not just the emotional side, but also the fun, quirky side. He'd be very much a Matt Smith Doctor, but he'd be, I feel, different. I feel just looking at him in The Personal History of David Copperfield, I get a bit of a doctory vibe, and not in the same way, because I know a lot of people pick this out, as people say Richard Ayoade, or people say Eddie Redmayne, because Richard Ayoade's a bit weird and a bit of a nerd and could do that quite well. And Eddie Redmayne, people saw him in Fantastic Beasts, but that's just emulating a performance like Matt Smith, where it's like, oh, he's got a bow tie, he's got a long coat, and he's quirky and young and got a weird haircut. Dev Patel is playing a totally different character that's nothing to do with the Doctor, yet he gives off that vibe without feeling like he's emulating it or inspired by it in any sort of way. He's an actor who could, I see, looking at that performance, going, whoa, that would work for the Doctor as well. I think that could work, and he looks the part as well, especially his costume in The Personal History of David Copperfield being a historical piece. You've got the lovely long coats and the fancy suits, so yes please, Dev Patel as the 14th Doctor, maybe. Before I talk about my final pick, I'm going to talk about my special pick, which is one that I didn't want to include in my top 3 because, yeah, I would absolutely love this person to play the Doctor as the 14th Doctor. They already have played the Doctor, and that is Jo Martin, and I know a lot of people have had many discussions about this. I still see Jo Martin as pre-Hartnell, and that's what the show's kind of been telling us. Now, unless Series 13 does something wildly different and somehow finds a way to explain how Jo Martin could play the 14th Doctor and still not remember the 13th Doctor, then I'm all down for it. She's a brilliant actress and she did a phenomenal job. And I guess it's the best kind of audition for a Doctor anyone could need. She appeared in she appeared in 2 episodes, but one was more of just a bit of a monologue. This one was like, you know, Fugitive of Jadoon. She was brilliant in that, and that's what I'm basically saying. And fans love her. Fans really, really love her. The aesthetic of her Doctor, the costume, the style, the gravitas she has when she's on screen, the TARDIS, exterior and interior, everything about her Doctor seemed a bit more cutthroat and different, and the total almost polar opposite of what Jodie Whittaker was, which, as I was saying before, is kind of what we need for the next Doctor. Despite previously mentioning Dev Patel, I think that it would be a very unwise decision of the BBC to go for another male Doctor after this, only because it feels like a sort of knee-jerk reaction to the 13th Doctor. If you have a 13th Doctor and then you have another female Doctor, it worked. It's telling everyone the BBC are confident with the idea of a female Doctor because it was such a big thing at the time when Jodie was cast. I personally don't see it as a big thing. I think it's a totally normal thing. I think anyone could be able to play the Doctor. It's all about the acting talent, not sort of their gender, race, sexual orientation, anything like that. because that's just stupid. That's so trivial. It's an alien from outer space. Anyone can play the Doctor so long as they're good enough. And I think if they do another, especially if they do another white male Doctor for the 14th Doctor, I feel like that's such a... It sends a signal out, which the BBC may or may not want to send, which is basically saying, we don't think the 13th Doctor worked. And that sort of narrows down opportunities for future Doctors to potentially get cast. I think a person of colour, and specifically a female Doctor, would be an ideal pick for the 14th Doctor. So, yeah, I don't know why that rant kind of got away from me, sorry. Finally, in my top 3, I'm going to talk about Tinia Miller, a person who has been going around the community recently because of these stupid bloody cameo videos. Tinia Miller has this sort of thing where she's joking about knowing who the 14th Doctor might be, and I just don't think that's entirely correct. I think it's either 1, a joke, or 2, she's referring to Jo Martin, who she does know and I believe has actually worked with recently. I don't think Tinia Miller has any intel on the 14th Doctor, but that conversation aside, I think she'd be a brilliant 14th Doctor, looking at her performances in, of course, Years and Years, which is what a lot of Doctor Who fans might have seen her in because of course, Russell T Davies writing that show. But as well as that, obviously The Haunting of Bly Manor, she's brilliant in that. I think she would be a great pick. I think she's got, again, the gravitas and the difference. Doctor Who fans might also recognise her as the General in Hellbent, so that might detract away from it, but the 6th Doctor, you know, Colin Baker played a Time Lord before he was the Doctor, Peter Capaldi was some random person in Pompeii before he became the Doctor, and a guy who shot his kids in Torchwood. So I think it being in the show before for like a one-off episode doesn't detract away from the opportunity and possibility of playing the next Doctor. I think if Tinia Miller wanted it and she went for it, she'd have a bloody good chance of getting it as well, and I would be totally here for it. Okay, so now we're looking at Twitter questions, not Twitter questions, Twitter answers to my question. My question was, working on a new video today about the casting of the 14th Doctor, who would you all pick as your #1 choice? I'll be featuring some answers in the video, so here is the video and here are the answers. Gillian Anderson, or Samantha Bond, and if it were a male, Michael Sheen or Idris Elba. Gillian Anderson, yep, that's a big fat yes from me. That's a great choice. Definitely inspired. She was brilliant in Sex Education and The Crown recently, so yes. Samantha Bond, haven't seen her in anything, I don't think, bar Outnumbered, but that's not really enough to comment on. So yeah, definitely different to that of Jodie Whittaker, so yeah, I'd be down for that, but again, not too familiar with her, so there we go. If it were a male, Michael Sheen or Idris Elba, Michael Sheen I think could do a pretty good job with it given the right scripts and direction, but as I said before with the whole thing of the BBC should cast a person of colour or a female Doctor next, or a female Doctor next, Michael Sheen would have to do a hell of a lot, but maybe the 15th Doctor, I wouldn't be against that, but even still I think he would have to really convince me. It depends on his look, because Michael Sheen is a man of many faces. Depends what he looks like as the Doctor. I kind of like the big beard look though, that's kind of cool. Idris Elba, no, he's more suited towards Bond, but yeah, sure, I'm sure he'd be fine, but I think it's not really him. I couldn't really picture him as the Doctor, if you know what I mean. If another woman is to take the role, I'd have to say Phoebe Waller-Bridge or Joanna Lumley. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, yes, 100% definitely. Joanna Lumley, I'm not too sure. I feel like that would be one of the things, because of the whole like comic relief thing that we did, the whole Curse of Fatal Death, I think she would be more suited to maybe appear in like a cameo as like a pre-Hartnell Doctor as a joke. I mean, which would be great, that'd be a lot of fun, obviously, but as the next Doctor, I don't really know. I'm drinking water out of a wine glass, I'm sorry. If they weren't dead, great way to start a sentence. If they weren't dead, I'd love to see Gene Wilder, or Graham Chapman, or Marty Feldman as the Doctor. I don't know who the last one is, but Gene Wilder and Graham Chapman, yes, definitely very inspired choices. Would love to see that, but as you said in your answer, they're dead. They've passed on. They're no more. They've ceased to be. Expired and gone to meet their maker. It's a Monty Python reference, so yeah. I didn't want to feel like I was being insensitive for people who didn't watch Monty Python, but for those people, watch it. Katie McGrath is one of my go-to castings. She's an actress with amazing range and the ability to carry the show. Plus, she gets the look down just perfectly. Look at these total Doctor vibes. Some great images you've included. They look brilliant. I like them. Very good. That looks like the Doctor to me. It looks like a Doctor-y kind of person. I've not seen her act in anything though, so I can't really comment. But she looks good. So yeah, That's the approval. Whoever fits the job description best. It's exactly, that's... You got it. You got it in a nutshell. Well done. Well done. Extra credit to you. That's an approval for me. I don't know what I've got. It's like thumb stamp of approval now. Simone Kirby. I don't know who that is. I've not seen them in anything, but it's Dalecium, and I trust you, man. I trust you. Yeah, sure. Always on the Tinia Miller campaign trail, marvellous actor with serious dramatic performance chops, but still with that quirky, silly, doctory side. Oh, and they've included some art that they did, and that's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it to bits. That's actually, that's incredible. Killian Murphy would be my #1 choice. Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty bloody solid actor. I don't know if Doctor Who would be too suited to him though. #1 choice is Colin Morgan. He can do dark and charm and everything in between. It would also be a very satisfying link to when the Doctor was called Merlin in Battlefield. Yeah, I like that. Colin Morgan's a great actor. I haven't seen Merlin myself, so I can't really comment on that, but I know he's in Doctor Who and he was in The Crown for that one episode, so he was good in them, and I think I might have seen him in other things, but off the top of my head, not really sure. But yeah, he's a great actor, and yeah, I wouldn't be against it. Celia Imrie, good choice, great choice. I know she was in Doctor Who already. A lot of these people have already been in Doctor Who, because Doctor Who's kind of cast all of the main British actors that have been on British TV. So basically all these choices, I think the only one who hasn't been in Doctor Who that's been mentioned so far is probably like Idris Elba, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, because even like Michael Sheen played House in The Doctor's Wife, so you know, everyone's been there. But yeah, great choice, and I love this artwork style. It's the second time I've seen this artwork style with Doctor fan castings, and I love it. Very simplistic, very easy to do. I like it a lot. I would pick Richard Ayoade as he's a perfect fit for a science show, especially like the way he portrayed Moss in the IT Crowd. So a lot of people say this, and I definitely mentioned this before, I'm not a huge fan of the Richard Ayoade take. I think it's one that is definitely inspired, but Richard Ayoade just plays himself in everything. If he's not being himself as a comedian, he's being himself playing a character like Moss in the IT Crowd, which is just him, really. I don't really want to see Richard Ayoade playing himself as the Doctor. I want to see the Doctor role like challenged in something different, and although he's quirky, and he's geeky, and he's got that style to him, I would kind of prefer to see Richard Ayoade in maybe like a villain of Doctor Who role, opposed to the Doctor. That would be a nice twist on things. Maybe like the Valeyard, that would be kind of cool. Tom Holland? No. No. I mean, he's great as Spider-Man, probably my favourite Spider-Man, brilliant, but he's miscast in so many bloody things. Doctor Who should not be added to his list of things that he's been miscast in. Ruth Wilson, don't know, I haven't seen anything they've been in, but it's a great photo. Henry Cavill, no, sorry, absolutely not. Rebecca Hall or Helen McCrory, both good choices, haven't really seen them in too much, I don't think, off the top of my head, but they look the part in both of these photos, and that's what's important. Benedict Cumberbatch would be my dream scenario. Yeah, I guess, he's obviously way too big now because he's in Marvel and stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't be totally against it. He's a pretty good actor, he was obviously in Sherlock, he'd be great as the Doctor, I'm sure he'd put his all into it, but I think right now I don't really think we need Benedict Cumberbatch as the Doctor. It's like one of those cool fan castings, probably another one of those ones where it's like, oh, they could appear in like the 60th anniversary as like a pre-Hartnell Doctor for like 5 minutes and not really do anything, but like, oh, they're a Doctor, so yeah, I don't know, maybe you could do something like that. But Kim Addis, I haven't seen her in anything, but looks the part, benevolent but badass, yeah, I like that. Realistic choice, Daniel Kaluuya. Ultimately, I would love for it to be Joe Martin. Canonically, it would be a nightmare. My dream cast would always be Ayoade. I would really love Tinia Miller as well, but it seems as though she's taken her name out of the running. So yeah, I mean, Daniel Kaluuya, great choice. Patterson Joseph, yes. Absolutely, yes. 100% every time, Patterson Joseph. Incredible. I'd love to see that. Really, really would. What's the line again? Is that normal? Is that normal pooing you're doing, Mark? James McAvoy, probably too famous now, but yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I think that's basically all the ones we're going to go through for today, because there's a lot there, and there's just going to be more added, and a lot of them are going to be... Oh, Matt Berry's a good choice, though. Yeah. Father! Matt Berry playing the Doctor in Meeting Take 2 and... Father! That's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's basically all I would really say at the moment. There's some fantastic choices, some fantastic ideas and stuff there that I absolutely love. There's some really great and inspired choices there, but obviously the big question is, you guys, you're watching this video right now, put in the comments below who would be your #1 choice, or maybe your top 3 for the next Doctor? Are they ones that I included, other people included? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with other people? Do you just have your own opinions that no one else agrees with? Or maybe someone does, you're always validated, don't worry. I thought I'd take this opportunity to showcase some artwork that I've been doing for the next Doctor. I've been doing a sort of range of these different edits, obviously nothing too big, but I do my own graphic design and photo editing, and I'm available for commission via my website georgesheard.com, which is linked in the description below, and you can see all of these artworks and more. I've done artworks for Olivia Colman, David Thewlis, Dev Patel, Fanny Newton and Tinia Miller. A few of those you've probably seen on this video today, but yeah, absolutely. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed the different style that we tried this time. It's definitely something a bit new to me, but if you like it, then we'll probably do more videos like this in the future. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment below for any more suggestions in the future, subscribe with notifications on if you haven't already, check out my Twitter, Instagram, etc. All links in the description below, and I will see you all next time. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.